Hi, Greg, the brickitect here. Today we're going to be taking a look at the second build from the Lego Build-It book, More Amazing Vehicles Volume 2. If you saw my review last week of the Hot Rod, this is a follow-up to that. So the second build is called the Gran Turismo, which happens to be an awesome video game series, but unfortunately this build isn't quite as good. I do like some things about this, but there's a lot that I really don't like, so I'll show you some of the aspects of it here. I'd have to say the side profile is my favorite thing about this car. Take a look at how low that roof line is. It's just level with the trunk and then slopes down over the hood. I also like the slope that goes over the front fender. I like that vent piece that's right behind the front tire. And then I like the curvature of the door, and of course the doors do open. It has a similar setup to the Hot Rod, the way they hinge the doors. As we move around to the back of the car, this is where things start to go downhill. I'm really not a fan of the back end of this at all. I don't like the way the exhaust looks of the taillights, or just the fact that there are studs on the back of the vehicle. I would like that just to be flat completely. I kind of like the rear stripes, but that's about the only thing I can say good about the rear of this vehicle. And another problem with the back is this spoiler. Well, I appreciate that they have that flipped over to kind of show you some new building techniques, and that is a major goal of this book. I really don't like how unfinished the spoiler looks with the upside down 6x1 that's running along that. Here's the front end of the car, really not too bad. I like the way that the slopes kind of run down. I like the way the headlights and the fog lights look, and I like that little gray dot that's in the center right here. It kind of reminds me of an emblem or something you'd find on a car, only to a basic level. The one thing that kind of boggled my mind as I was putting the front of this together was, why are these tires visible through the hood? I was putting this together and looking through the manual. I kept looking back thinking that I missed a part somewhere on a step, but no, this is how it's supposed to be. I don't know if you can see that, but if I spin one of the tires, you can see that you can, right over those vents, you can see it right through the hood, and that's kind of weird. I kind of wish they would have had a slope that went down over that to kind of mask that, but kind of unique, very strange. Here's a look at the roof. I like the fact that they put that big sunroof piece in that runs over the back. You can see the seating inside there. I like the low sloped windshield, and I also like the tan interior that they used for the dash. That looks really good from the outside. Unfortunately, to get to the interior, there's no good way to open it up, so I basically had to disassemble the entire roof to get inside. But once you do open it up, you can see there is a nicely detailed interior. You have the nice blue seats along with the doors that open, like I mentioned before. You got a nice steering wheel, and then there's a glove box. And I like this little effect right here. There's a shifter right there, which is kind of cool. And I'll spin this around this way so you can get a detail on the seats, and then this kind of runs up over the back. So there really is no back seat. It's just a two-seat car. So that's a look at the Gran Turismo from the Lego Build-It book, More Amazing Vehicles Volume 2. Obviously not one of my favorite builds. In fact, looking at the back of the book, this is probably my least favorite build of the 10. The good news is there's a lot of good ones coming, but I don't want to seem like a negative Nance in this video, because while I don't like this build in particular, there's a lot of things that this book demonstrates, not necessarily in the builds, but the building techniques, and this car is a perfect example of that, and it's something that I haven't even talked about in the review. It's this back section here. You'll see right there, that's the bottom of a micro build, or what have you, that you put onto the back. So that's the bottom and this is the top. So when you assemble that and put it on the back, it makes a shape that you wouldn't be able to find, and that's what makes that spoiler possible that I didn't really like too much in the video. So as this book goes on, I'm sure I'm going to learn new building techniques and different ways to take these relatively simple pieces and put them together, and I think that's what's really great. So while the model of this might not be my favorite, I do appreciate what they're doing with teaching new techniques, and I'm really happy to share this with you. So I will continue with the next 8 builds from this over the next 8 weeks. I'll show you every single thing this book has to offer. So I thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.